this video is going to be a little different. It's going to be about one of the best lures to throw out in the dog days of summer. These bass have been staying deep in cooler water temps and staying up in the weeds to get a little shade. I'm going to show you one of my best lures to throw out for these summer bass. The first lure is going to be my jigs. These jigs have been working pretty good in the summer. I don't really like the football jig. I really like the swim jig because swim jig shows more bait fish. In my area in Dallas, Texas, there's way more bait fish than, I'll say, like crawdads and stuff. So I have don't know the brand, but it's a football jig and a trailer on the back. It's a crawdad, but I haven't really used it. I lost my swim jig, so it's been throwing a little football jig around. It gets in the weeds pretty good by like curbing the weeds. So like if your ponds have a lot of weeds, and a worm can work good, but the football jig gets one bigger bass off their beds and everything because it's a way bigger presentation than a worm. The next one is going to be topwater. Topwater, it has been hitting later in the summer, in my opinion. Mostly they've been hitting it good in the mornings, so if you want to try to get a topwater bite, go in the mornings because they've been doing pretty good. Got a Berkley Chopo bone color. I think this size, I forgot what size, but it's one of the best sizes to use for pond fishing, and if you do some lake fishing too, it'll be pretty good. I used Berkley. There's a lot of vegetation almost on top, but like right there. It's one of like I don't say one of the best, but one of the best useful top waters to use right now. The buzzbait, it could still do good, but it could catch on some weeds and stuff. The frog, not a lot of fish in my opinion are gonna bite the frog right now. I think they like the little sound, vibration. It's a walker plopper. And then this one, I really don't use that much, but I feel like this lure right here will still do pretty good in summer. Got a crankbait, bluegill style. I think this one's pretty good because if you don't have a lot of vegetation and you're trying to catch bass in this big pond, I think the vibration and sound it makes can trigger those bass to try to bite your crankbait. But it could be a little hard if you're throwing at vegetation, so you could probably only throw it out when there's not a lot of weeds and vegetation out. So that's that one. The next one I have is kind of like my finesse setup. I have Texas rig. See if I can get this off. Texas rig, very long worm. Works perfect in weeds, vegetation. Catch a nice bass with this worm. Also, I feel like the worm is starting to fall off a little bit because all these like new baits like the urchin and stuff. But if you get a long worm, that thing, it's gonna work perfect in the weeds and vegetation. These are 3 other lures. I think they work pretty good in this time of month and everything. First, I got this bait right here. It is soft plastic, so it's lighter, so it can sink not as fast as the hard ones. And I like throwing this out with my medium power bait caster because I think the bass, when you throw like a bigger swim bait, you have to work it way more because when this one sinks, you don't have to work it that much. I think this bait, I used it in the summer. You can catch some big bass with them. I think it's one of the best lures. And this is the other lure. It's a freeloader right here. I think it works very good if you have a lot of bait fish in your pond, especially like shad, everything. Those bass will demolish this freeloader right here. Kind of just want to work it any style, but I love working You just pop it a little bit. This bass will trigger up and really get those bites. The last one, I think this is one of the best lures, my opinion, for bass. You could fish it all season long. It's gonna be the paddle tail with the jig head on it. I mean, you can't go wrong with a paddle tail and jig head. You can work this around mostly anything. Try to cast it mostly deeper if you have a lot of weeds, but if you don't, try to cast shallow for all those bass. But this one, pretty good. I think I have the Berkley jig head on it. It's kind of messed up, soft plastic, but I think it's one of the best lures that's out there. So yeah, that's the end of the video. If you have any questions on my rod and reels I have, just put them in the comment section below. I answer those questions about all my combos. See you next time.